Chris, a hell of a match, a lot to digest from it, I suppose. What's your ultimate appraisal of the team's performance today?
Sort of bitter towards the end. Loads of good things. Scratching my head how we've not walked away with 3 points, Andy. Unbelievable, but we've only got ourselves to blame. Game management, naivety of the team. I think, game plan in terms of setting up, obviously, worked in our favour. We set traps, we pounced, we countered, we looked a really good side. We have to put teams to bed though, and I'm not one of those managers that every opportunity has to be a goal. And we had it with my first game back where I think the opposition manager said that they maybe should have matched the scoreline that Ipswich had against us. Absolute nonsense. But responsibility and accountability in those big moments and those big periods that we had, because at times it was really good. We have to take the game away. And then we have to realise then when we're coming up to half time that there's a game management about it. What is the feeling of this place going to be like after 45, 46 minutes with the home team 2-0 down and possibly, Paul and Stuart scratching their head and maybe thinking, dear me, we've dodged a bit of a bullet here because the game should be done. But it wasn't, because we didn't turn the ball down the side. We tried to be too intricate with it. And then we made a really poor decision to go and engage in a tackle where we didn't. And then you're feeling it. And we've had it before. I had it at an incredible, famous game where, to be fair to the group, they came back and ended up winning 4-2. But there was a game at Hillsborough a few years ago where we went 2-0 up, and we conceded in the 45th minute, and the whole atmosphere of the ground changed, as we all know. It ended up in not a bad way, but those moments are huge, absolutely huge. It is a team that's learning, and I don't like to say that because they're still young pros, and we can't be that naive team. And we understood as well what's going to happen second half. Their boys sprinted down the tunnel, and no doubt the team talk from them would be, right, we need to be a load better. We concede a free kick straight after half time, allow them to put the ball in our box. We get blocked. Boy wins an header, comes off Jaff, and then all of a sudden it is game on, and it's 2 each. I think we're really unfortunate with the third goal. Mark McGuinness gets a whack and he's desperately trying to get back into the middle of the goal, and maybe we should come over and shuffle over. They find there, and then all of a sudden, it's game on, and really we're all scratching our heads in the change room afterwards. At half time, I was, it was quite a difficult team talk, because it should have been an incredibly positive one, and possibly one of the most positive ones that I've delivered, since I've been here, because at times the play was outstanding, but it wasn't. We're chasing the game. No issue with their attitude, no issue with commitment and desire, and then still the calmness, because I think from a stats point of view, XG is over 2.3. People talk about stats. We have 2 or 3 great opportunities. We should score off a corner. Callum slips at a vital time. Harrison goes through, should get his touch out of his feet. And another couple of opportunities to get something from the game. So I talked about to the players before, we have to go again. We can't just be happy with 2 wins out of 2. We're desperate for a third win. Those proper players and proper teams go and get that third win. They use the confidence and the belief of what happened on Tuesday night and what happened against Watford. And for a lot of tonight, we saw that, but we're not here for periods of games where we played okay, or chances that we've made. We've conceded 3 goals away from home, which is nonsense. The timing of the goals is absolutely nonsense, and we've not put a team to bed when we had them on the right, which has obviously resulted in us not getting that big 3 points that would have capped a fabulous week for us.
So basically, how do you bottle that 35 minutes at the start of the game and turn it into sort of 70 or 80 minutes? Because, goodness me, I mean, there was a hell of a lot to like there, wasn't there, with how everybody was playing, the combinations of people all over the pitch were fitting, the build-up play leading to something at least at the end of it.
All part of it, all part of it. I thought we were good, and maybe the opposition might think it was them, but I thought we were really good. We were really good in our structure. We set traps, we jumped it. When they went long, we jumped on the second ball. We played our way out of it. We created opportunities. It wasn't just set plays or direct play, even though there's always different ways to win games. It was combinations, it was opportunities, but I've said to I'm going to talk about, from a defensive point of view, conceding 3 goals gives us an uphill task in terms of trying to win a game of football. But as well, I will say to the boys, whoever it is at the top of the pitch, that we have those opportunities, that absolutely demoralises teams, and the feeling for them really should be at half-time. Then, the opposition players should be, can we salvage something from this game? A little bit of pride, because we were that much on top apart from the first 5 minutes, but it wasn't. Goals change attitudes, change games, and that gave them an absolutely incredible lift. They took advantage of it. We come roaring back at the end, but if we'd have come roaring back and got some at the game, then, which I think we deserved to, then fair enough. But we haven't. So bottling it, using it. Players have got to realise. Defenders have got to defend. Defenders have got to make proper decisions, good decisions. Midfield players have got to protect and create, and forwards, when we have an opportunity, have got to be clinical at the top of the pitch. A basic attitude towards winning a game of football that you need at championship level.
And I know you're not keen to keep talking about getting to know each other, but even experienced players who come together with other players, there is a sort of in sync and a thought process required that perhaps they're still getting used to.
Yeah, I'll give them that, but I don't want to use that for again, because we have to learn. We have to learn pretty quickly. It's disappointing, because, as I said, there's a lot of good things to like about today. Appreciate the supporters standing and waiting for us as well. They've not streamed out after 50-55 minutes, because I think they've seen a team that wants to try and win and wants to try and get back into the game. I thought there was plenty of that, but just a naivety about our play at times, and we've lost a lot of leaders, but we've brought players in, the Mees as well, and the other players, and Tanganga, so they have to step up to the plate. The other players, Campbell's and Callum, I thought was outstanding today after step forward as well. And have to dust ourselves down and have another good week, and because we haven't got these unbelievable opportunities to keep just chucking points away. And as I said to him, I think from my point of view, the result was decided in our change room. And maybe it was decided, and maybe somebody walked out of our change room, walked down their change room, and just chucked 3 points into their changing room. I'm not taking anything away from what they did, because they'll say that they've deserved to get back into the game. But for me, we've given them a massive helping hand on that, and we can't afford to do that. Can't afford to do that in our position. Can't afford to do that in Championship football if we want to win games and get on a roll.